Hi guys, I'm Steve and welcome to the Agile Lean Gardener, and this is your Agile thought for the day. I know it can be very hectic as a Scrum Master and it's easy to get caught up in daily routine. You end up just turning the wheel, not on purpose, just because it's often difficult to find time to think. But your number one responsibility is to help the team deliver value and positive outcomes to customers. So what are you doing that directly contributes to team and organization value? Let's talk about it. Now, try and find a few minutes today to self-assess what value you're delivering. Now, really think about this and what it might look like for you. For example, how is your relationship with the product owner? Are you finding time to help them with the backlog? Are you helping them to prioritize? What techniques are you using? Moscow, weighted shortest job first, cost of delay, the Kano model, opportunity scoring? There are so many, but no matter what technique you're using, how do you know if it's working? So what feedback are you getting from the end user or customers? So have a think about that. Now, helping the PO with the backlog isn't just about prioritization. What about the product vision, the product goal, and how about that roadmap? The backlog needs to be coherent with a purpose, and this will make a huge difference to the team and helps them understand the sprint goal for each sprint. And without that, you're putting the team in a difficult position, and sprints can end up with just a list of unrelated things to do, which eventually sees the team working in silos. Now, does the product owner protect the backlog, or do they just say yes to everything and tag it onto the bottom? I think you know what I'm talking about. Look, it's easy to say yes to everything, but frankly, that's just a cop-out. Saying no or not now is much harder. So help them to understand why saying no is important, not just to the team, but to the organization as well. But help them to say no with supporting data, which ties back into how you prioritize. Now, what about your stakeholders? When was the last time you sat down with them to build better relationships? And what about data that can help the team and wider organization? I'm not talking about story points or burn down charts. No, cycle time, flow efficiency calculations, work item age, forecasting with Monte Carlo, customer feedback. All of these things can directly benefit the team and organization and show that you have value. If you're not aware of these or want to know more, I have the very video for you, link on screen now. And this video will help you to get started. Now also think about how you can surface this data to the right people in an easy way. Don't try and get stakeholders to navigate their way through Jira or whatever other tool you're using. Think about creating easy to use and find dashboards. Many tools out there to do this, from Easy BI to Power BI. So take the time to find out what your organization has, learn it and use it. But don't duplicate data. Make sure it comes from source, otherwise it'll go out of date quickly and be useless. Now, you're there to help the team, but you're also there to help the organization. So have a think about that. What can you do outside of the team to help the organization? And do you have a community of practice? If so, get some material together and ask to present at the next catch-up. Perhaps start with estimation, or better still, forecasting. If not, start one yourself. Get a list of things you'd like to talk about, maybe your favorite prioritization techniques or retrospective formats, and send it out. State that you'll present X, Y, and Z and ask for volunteers for the remaining items on your list. Now, you could also start some lunchtime learning sessions and invite other Scrum Masters, product owners, and stakeholders. And depending on where your organization is on its road to agility, a great place to start is to introduce Simon Power's Agile Onion and Agile Mindset. Now, if you're not familiar with those, I will drop a link to that in the description below. Really, the list of things you could do is endless, but the point is to take time out to think about how you can deliver value to your team and organization. 2023, being a Scrum Master is much more than just facilitating Scrum events. It always has been, but many have just gone through the motions, and that simply won't cut it anymore. You need to be much more proactive than that. Now, have you heard of the Pareto principle? Well, check this video out to see how you can focus on the most important 20% of your work that will truly add value. And a big shout out of thanks to Bjorn Ho. I probably haven't pronounced your name properly, so apologies for that, Bjorn. Bjorn supported the channel with a super thanks for my video Should a Scrum Team Use Story Points, link in the description below. Thank you very much, Bjorn. It was very much appreciated. Now, if you've got any value from this, then make a difference to our community. Like, subscribe and share. It makes a bigger impact than you might think. Okay, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Be safe, stay humble, and I will have another Agile thought for you next Thursday.